What a performance this has been from Chennai. 9-wicket win over Punjab. And that win means that Punjab are now knocked out of the tournament. They are not in the race of playoff anymore. And it is not a good sign because Punjab performed really well. 5 wins on the trot. We were expecting them to qualify for the playoffs. But I will give it to Chennai. What a performance this has been from them. Hat trick of wins, hat trick of half centuries for Ruturaj Gaikwad. And that all means that it will go down all to the wire because now it's Rajasthan playing against Kolkata. So that game also is very, very important in terms of which team will qualify, which team will stay in the hunt, which team will go home. A lot to talk about, but we will specifically talk about this game today, Chennai and Punjab. How good was it, Yuvraj? Or rather, how
Uh,
bad was it?
Not great to be honest, but we can't do anything about it. Chennai completely dominated. There's no two thoughts about that. And honestly, I think it's really disappointing from the perspective of Punjab because the way they've played in the last 5 games when they won 5 on the trot, then last 2 games were really disappointing to be honest. They were completely rolled over. You didn't expect this after that those 5 consecutive wins, but it's happened. And I think Punjab, it was both these games were Punjab's to lose before the start of the game, but they have let it go, and they should be really disappointed in themselves because now they'll have to wait for next year. They'll have to start all over again. They had the golden opportunity to qualify this time. They just had to win a single game out of the last two, but the way they've lost, not just the fact that they've lost, the way they've lost is really disappointing. They've completely gifted games to the opposition. They have choked themselves. They've always choked themselves in pressure situations, crunch situations. As I've always said, they have never ever capitalized on key moments, and the last 2 games were key moments for them. They've lost it. We can't do anything about it. But Chennai, on the other hand, have ended on a high. MS Dhoni will be really happy with this performance, but sadly, they also have to go home and they drag Punjab with
Along with.
themselves. Yes, so that's what they've done. They've not done any good for themselves in the last game, but they've dragged Punjab down with them. They have not let them climb. They did not let them climb the ladder. But you can't deliberately lose a game. Of course, that's how cricket goes. You're playing every game to win. That's what Chennai did, and it was a really clinical show for them, from them rather.
Absolutely. And I think we were talking about this in the pre show as well, Yuvraj, that they performed really well. And what went in their favor was the toss. They won the toss, they elected to bowl, and then they were able to restrict the opposition for a low score. 153, it looked like that there may be a chance for Punjab after how Deepak Hooda performed. But there is one interesting thing which Atul Vasan said in the mid innings. He said there are a couple of things to actually look at. One, he said there is a bad view and then there is a good view. The bad view was since Deepak Hooda was able to time the ball with perfection, that means the pitch is getting better and better in the evening. And the bad part is the momentum has now shifted towards Punjab. So I think that bad part actually became a little good for Chennai because it looked like a cakewalk, to be very honest. It was absolute ease when they came out to bat. The way Faf du Plessis was playing, the way Rituraj Gaikwad was timing the ball, the way Ambati Raidu just came out to the middle, it was just phenomenal.
I think Vedant, it would have been a little different if right now Chennai were playing for the playoffs to qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah.
If they were looking for a spot in those playoffs and if they were still in the race, things would have been different because they would have had that at the back of their mind. That pressure would have been dangling somewhere around in the batsman's mind. But they played really freely. They had no fear whatsoever, as they knew that they are going home after this and they have nothing to lose. They played with freedom. I am telling you 100% with surety that if Chennai was still in the race and if this was a knockout game for both the teams, then things would have been a little different. Chennai might have won the game, but they wouldn't have coasted home like this, probably, to be honest. That's what I feel.
Absolutely, I totally agree to you because mind game also plays a very important role. MS Dhoni and his men came out to the middle that even if they lose, they have nothing to lose. So that's very, very important. But all done and dusted because Punjab have lost the game and they are out of the playoff race. My partner in crime is not happy at the moment because he is a big Punjab fan, and I think nobody would be happy because cricket is a gentleman game and cricket is a game of high spirits. Cricket is a game of chances, and we saw how Punjab was able to make the most of chances they got. 5 wins on the trot is very, very difficult, Yuvraj, and doing that, it was commendable. Just a good few words on KL Rahul as well. The way he led the side was very, very good. I think Punjab would be very happy with him in the next season and the coming seasons. He would be expected to continue that captaincy, scoring 600 plus runs in the tournament, leading from front. I think he was really good.
I think they've also found another valuable asset for themselves, and Deepak Huda. The way he timed the ball, it was absolutely phenomenal to watch. Those sixes he hit over the cover boundary, that to the longest boundary on the field. It was exquisite. It was fabulous. It was excellent. I was in complete awe. I was awestruck with those shots because how can you hit the ball so long, that to over cover? We've seen
Right.
Surya Kumar Yadav hit the ball over covers really well, but Deepak Huda just demolished the bowlers with those sixes over covers. It was really, really good to watch how Deepak Huda operated today. It wasn't just his score that was 62 of 30, maybe.
Yep.
I don't know if
Yep.
that's the exact score, but the way he played, the spirited performance. I think that actually signifies how Punjab have played. They've never given up. They've never let go of their hopes of qualifying for the playoffs. But in the end, unfortunately, they have to go home. And me being a King Punjab fan, of course, I'll be feeling bad. But the whole fraternity of fans would be feeling bad for them. They would also be disappointed in them because they had the golden chance of qualifying. They had it in their bag. At one point, it was looking like they would even bag that top two spot because it was looking most likely that Punjab will qualify. But the way they've given away these last two matches, it's not a good sight for any fan, let alone Punjab fans.
Do you think it's more because Glenn Maxwell was not included, probably making that change on the last minute, bringing Jimmy Neesham in?
I don't know if that would have had much impact because even Glenn Maxwell wasn't contributing that much. It would have been it would have made a very small difference. I think with bat in hand, even Glenn Maxwell gives you single digit scores. He could have bowled better maybe, and his
Right.
fielding is. I think we talk about his fielding. He would have been surely better than Jimmy Neesham in the field, but again, it would have been a minute difference because other players didn't stand up. It was like Punjab were playing with 10 players when Maxwell was in the side, and it seemed the same today because KL Rahul, and again they were too dependent on their top three. I think Nicholas Puran, it was a really disappointing innings from him as well. Then Mandeep Singh, they would have absolutely crumbled if Deepak Huda hadn't stood up today. It would have been a it would have been a shoddy show for them. But fortunately, he did step up, gave them a respectable total to defend. But in the end, it was hands down Chennai. They completely dominated. They gave absolutely no chance to Punjab. And again, very unfortunate that they're going home along with both these teams are going home.
Absolutely. I think Chennai also performed really well in the later half of the tournament. We expected something of this sort from them at the start of it, but unfortunately, that did not happen. If we talk about Punjab, we expected them to continue that winning streak, but that did not happen. But at the end of it, I think the most important part is cricket is a real winner. When it's game time, you cannot just predict as what will happen, and that's exactly what we saw today. We all were expecting something to happen, but MS Dhoni and his Chennai, they had different plans, and that's exactly what happened. Awful and a forgettable performance from Glenn Maxwell. He needs to see as where he is going wrong. He needs to come back in the tournament because 8.2, 8.3 crores, that's a big prize. Team is believing in you. And then if you are not able to perform and every time you're stepping on field, that's a big question mark. But a lot of positives to actually take out. KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal, Mandeep Singh coming out, Deepak Hooda, as you said, Christopher Henry Gale playing like that even at the age of 41. I think all seems to be turning out really well for them. And now it's time for us to look at the scorecard as well. Match number 53, Chennai against Punjab. Chennai captain MS Dhoni won the toss and he elected to have a bowl. Punjab openers KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal were out in the middle. They started off really very well. It looked like that they will be able to score 175, 180, but that did not happen as both of them departed in 20s. KL Rahul scored 29 of 27 deliveries, 3 boundaries in one massive 6. Mayank Agarwal 26 of 15 deliveries, 5 classical boundaries. Expected him to continue a little more, but unfortunately he couldn't. But the major difference were their middle order. Chris Gale and Nicholas Puran, 12 of 19 for Chris Gale, did not manage to score even a single boundary. And then, of course, Nicholas Puran, 2 of 6 deliveries. So both of them couldn't contribute, and that was the actual difference. Mandeep Singh, 14 of 15. But what an innings this has been from Deepak Hooda. It will be a memorable innings for him. 62 of 30 deliveries, and that definitely means that he will occupy that spot in the squad for the coming seasons as well. And then, of course, Jimmy Neesham, 2 of 3. And, of course, Chris Jordan scoring 4 of 5 deliveries. Chennai bowlers, not much to look at. Lungi Ngidi, 4 overs, 39 runs, and 3 important wickets for him. KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal, and James Neesham. Other than that, I think Ravindra Jadeja bowled well, 3 of 17, and picked a wicket. And then, of course, Imran Tahir and Shardul Thakur also managed a wicket each. When it came to Chennai's batting, I think Faf du Plessis and Ruturaj Gaikwad were too good, and they ended up scoring 110 runs between them. Ruturaj Gaikwad scored 62 of 49 deliveries, 6 boundaries, and 6. And then, of course, Faf du Plessis got out. To Chris Jordan, 48 of 34 deliveries, but played well, a memorable innings. He also has ended the tournament on high. And then, of course, Ambati Raidu, 30 of 30 deliveries for him, 2 boundaries. All in all, a very, very good show for Chennai, a memorable one, hat trick of wins for them, and they will be going home with a big, big, big smile on their faces. When you look at Punjab's bowling lineup, not much to look at. Jimmy Neesham once again expensive. Mohammad Shami, not the best of days as he couldn't contribute with the ball in terms of taking wickets. Chris Jordan picked the wicket. Ravi Bishnoi expensive again, 4 overs 39 for him. Christopher Henry Gale bowled an over, bowled 5 deliveries, gave away 5 runs, but it was too late for somebody like Chris Gale to come in and bowl. And at the end of it, Chennai has registered another win. And all the games which Chennai has won, they have won comprehensively, or they have been able to take all down to the wire. There haven't been any middle games for Chennai, winning the game by 9 wickets. That's comprehensive for them. And I think Chennai camp would be very happy because a lot of eyes were on Chennai and the management. Is it the best side? Is it the best side? And they will not end the tournament being at last, because as of now it's Kolkata, and you never know, Kolkata might stay there, or even they can jump from 8th position to direct 4th one. It will be one to watch.
Yeah, Chennai would also be feeling that why couldn't have we gained this form earlier in the tournament in the first half? They gained tremendous form in the latter half, of course, and they would be feeling happy, but they would also be feeling some regret. Why couldn't they do it before? But that's how cricket goes. You can't be in form always, and Punjab is another example. They were playing fabulously, just lost it in the last couple of matches, and yeah, unfortunate for both teams that they're going home.
Absolutely. And now I think it's time to look at the points table once. Indian T20 League points table. All teams have either played 13 games or 14. That means 14 are the maximum games that you can play in this tournament. In the league stages, of course, Punjab and Chennai have ended the tournament. Punjab, fifth position as of now, 6 wins, 8 losses, and of course 12 points for them. Unfortunately, I would say that they haven't been able to qualify for the playoffs. Hyderabad currently occupy that fourth position, Delhi on third, Bangalore on second, Rajasthan and Kolkata are playing right now to occupy that fourth or third spot in the points table. Whether they will be able to do that or not, I think only time can tell, but how dramatic it will be. A team which is at 8th position, can also go on to qualify for the playoffs. So that's how the competitiveness was there in this tournament. I think, if I'm not wrong, just correct me, Yuvraj, this is for the first time that even the team which is at 8th position has 12 points to their name. And I don't think it has ever happened in past.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's how it shows that it signifies that it has been such a competitive tournament. No team has played the best of cricket except maybe Mumbai, and no
Yeah.
team has played the worst cricket. So all in all, it's been a very good tournament for cricket in general, and we hope that we can witness similar kind of spectacle in coming tournaments as well. So it's really good to watch that the team sitting at the last position has 12 points, which just signifies the competitiveness and the strength of all teams as well.
Absolutely, it was one to watch, and I hope you guys enjoyed our coverage for match number 53, of course. Match number 54 currently going, and we will be joining you guys in the mid inning show, which will, of course, be with Atul Vasan, our cricket expert, ex cricketer, and current commentator. His inputs are very, very important, very vital in terms of how the game is progressing. First game will be analyzed and what can happen in the second one. We'll be bringing that as well. A big game, Kolkata against Rajasthan on the other side. Keep watching Sports Tiger, enjoy the sport, and thank you for watching.